71. Crestfallen. Lavanya's POV. How are you feeling? Rui asked the next day, sitting beside me in my room. Daddy has doubts, I replied. Of course he does. I noticed it when he opened the door for me. His eyes were full of questions. Thankfully, he didn't ask me anything. Rui shrugged. Letting out a loud sigh, she asked, "What are you going to do now?" I have no idea. I shook my head, closing my eyes. I'll just let fate decide. That is exactly your problem, Lavia, she huffed. You need to be sure about things. Why can't you make a firm decision? Why are you always so confused? That's a terrible habit of yours. She scolded me. You got engaged to a man you don't love, and now, when he keeps calling you, you're not even picking up. This is probably his 50th missed call. Rui pointed at my phone, which was vibrating on the bedside table. I don't want to talk to him right now, I muttered, burying my face between my knees. I'm sorry that, as your best friend, I can't help you, Rui said, sounding genuinely guilty. It's not your fault, Rui. Everything happening right now is a result of my own stupidity and confusion. No one else should be blamed. I took full responsibility for my mistakes. Rui was about to respond, but a knock on the door interrupted her. She turned towards the door and then back at me, mouthing, "Who's that?" How would I know? After a brief pause, I spoke. Come in. Mama entered, carrying 2 plates filled with snacks and fruits. I brought you some snacks, beta. She smiled at Rui, but gave me a brief, unreadable glance. Handing us a plate each, she turned to leave, but suddenly stopped and looked at me intently. Lavanya, beta, I am not your enemy. I want your happiness too. That's why I can't encourage you to make decisions that might ruin your life. Temporary happiness can be very tempting, but in the long run, you have to be practical. One day, we won't be here anymore, and when that time comes, you will have to face everything alone. So think wisely before making any decision. It's for your own good. She gently stroked my cheek, kissed her fingertips, and then, after giving Rui a weak smile, finally left the room. An awkward silence followed before Rui finally broke it. Okay? What was that all about? I didn't answer. Instead, I sat in deep thought, my mother's words echoing in my mind. I understand what she's saying. It all comes down to me now. What am I going to do with my life? I have to choose between Jackie Sir and Virat Sir, between love and stability. Because for a girl, making such a decision is never easy after all.
Jackie's POV. Thanks, Doc, I said as the doctor finished checking me. Balram was standing nearby. You're much better now, the doctor said with a smile. So, can I go home today? I asked hopefully. Get some rest for the day, Mr. Dawson. You'll be fine to leave tomorrow. He nodded. But I feel awful being here. The nurses aren't even attractive. They remind me of my strict school teachers, I complained, pouting. I know, it's a stupid thing to say, but hospitals really are the worst. The medicines stink, the walls and floors are an endless stretch of white, and everything feels dull and lifeless. It makes me feel like I'm suffering from some serious illness. Both Balram and the doctor chuckled at my response. Yes, they are. Even I get bored working here for 12 hours a day. What about your place? Are the nurses there? You know? The doctor wiggled his eyebrows and winked at me. Because I've been seriously considering going abroad to practice. Whoa, this guy is more of a flirt than me. No, actually, most of the nurses there are men, I replied, suddenly feeling awkward. Oh, that's unfortunate. I wish I had a thing for guys, but let's see. I won't stop searching for hospitals with beautiful nurses. Next time you get injured, call me. You never know where I might be, but wherever I am, it'll be an awesome hospital with plenty of attractive nurses. The doctor smirked, patted my shoulder, then stood up and flashed a bright smile at Balram before leaving. I was completely speechless. What the hell did I just hear? And who the hell did I just meet? Later, several office staff members came to visit me after Balram informed them about my accident. I received many bouquets, but the one who touched my heart the most was the young boy Vishwa. His innocent face and saddened expression made it obvious how much he hated seeing me like this. "Hey, how's it going, bro?" I asked casually. "I'm fine, sir. Balram sir is a very good teacher," he said, glancing at Balram. "Oh yeah, he is," I agreed, nodding at both of them. Throughout the day, people kept coming in to check on me and wish me a speedy recovery. Jamal even brought me some homemade food, healthy and tasty. I took my time eating it, enjoying every bite. Finally, some good food. Almost every employee from the office showed up. Seeing all these people around me, I realized just how many genuinely care for me. I have met some true well-wishers. Not everyone hates me. Maybe life here could have been better too. If only my feelings for one person hadn't ruined everything. But I will never regret or stop loving you, Miss Lavanya Verma. This experience had taught me a lifelong lesson. Never fall in love. And if you do, never fall for someone who believes you don't deserve to be their partner. Never expect love in return, or else you'll always end up alone. "We heard you're leaving India," one of the managers from the service department said, pulling me out of my thoughts. "Yes, I am, but not because I want to. It's because I now know with certainty that the company will run just fine without me. You all are a hardworking team, and I truly appreciate the effort you put in every day. So, thank you for that. No, sir, it's our duty and our pride. We want Mr. D. Dawson to be proud of his company." He smiled before glancing at one of his colleagues. "Actually, we were hoping you could visit the office tomorrow for one last time before leaving. We have a little surprise planned for you," he asked humbly. "I don't know. I mean, I'll try, but I can't promise anything." "Sir, please." The entire group joined in, pleading. After a moment of hesitation, I glanced at Balram, who was grinning from ear to ear and nodding eagerly or urging me to say yes. With a sigh, I finally agreed. "Okay, fine, I'll be there, but only for the first half of the day. I'm leaving in the evening." I then turned to Balram and said, "Balram, my ticket." "It's done, I already booked your evening ticket." He cut me off. "Oh, so you knew about this?" I narrowed my eyes at Balram and then pointed at the staff. He simply flashed a bright smile and shrugged. I rolled my eyes and shook my head. The employees stayed for another half an hour until the nurse reminded them about the visiting hour rules, and then they left. "Balram, are you involved in their surprise too?" I asked. "Oh no, not at all, sir. I was busy here. They only asked me to convince you to visit the office tomorrow. I genuinely don't know what the surprise is," he replied honestly. "But I believe they've put in a lot of effort to make it special for you." "And how can you be so sure?" I asked, curious. "Well, Paji, because we're Indians. We love surprises and everything. We're the best planners," Balram said proudly. "Of course, how could I forget that?" I sighed, rolling my eyes again. "By the way, what the hell is Paji?" I frowned. He smiled and nodded toward me. "Brother." My brows instantly relaxed in surprise. The next evening, the doctor returned for a final checkup. After reviewing my condition, he signed my discharge papers and had me sign as well. He allowed me to leave but made sure to remind me to take my medication regularly. I nodded in acknowledgement while Balram helped me up. He had already arranged the office van for my ride home. With the assistance of a male nurse and Balram, I got into the van. A few minutes later, we arrived in front of my duplex. As Balram and Jamal helped me out of the van, I instinctively turned to glance at Lavanya's apartment. The balcony was empty. From the corner of my eye, I noticed Jamal and Balram exchanging a knowing look, one of quiet sympathy. They guided me inside and laid me down on the bed in the guest room. Since I wasn't in any condition to climb the stairs, Jamal had already cleaned and decorated the space with fresh flowers and neatly arranged furnishings. "Wow, I've never seen this room look so beautiful before." "Thank you, Jamal. I didn't know this room could ever look this good," I said, scanning my surroundings in appreciation. The boy smiled shyly, his face tinged with a faint blush, which gave me a warm, positive feeling. "I cook good food for you, sir. I bring now, eat and rest," he said before leaving the room. I let out a satisfied sigh. "I'm going to miss this boy." Turning to Balram, I added, Thanks to you too, Balram. You've done so much for me, and I know I can never truly repay you. I shook my head, blinking away the emotions welling up in my eyes. Oh, gee, Sir G, I say Nabolo G. He waved a hand dismissively before correcting himself. I mean, don't say that. I didn't do any of this expecting anything in return. You're like a brother to me because your father was like a father figure to me. He was also my friend, and sometimes I see him in you. Being around you lets me relive those moments. He offered a comforting smile. Jamal will take care of you now. I should leave or else my wife will scold me. His exaggerated expression made me chuckle. You're unbelievable, Balram. But I love you, man. I smirked. He grinned, his cheeks slightly flushed. I know, Sir G. I'll go inform Jamal about your medicines. Please have a healthy dinner and get a good night's sleep. I'll pick you up tomorrow morning. With that, he left the room. Jamal brought me soup along with some healthy boiled vegetables and chapatis. I savored the meal, especially after enduring the awful food at the hospital. This food is heaven. Thank you, Jamal, I said, appreciating his cooking. He smiled to compliment. After finishing my meal, I took my medication and within minutes, sleep overtook me.
Lavanya's POV. After Ruhi left, I tried to sleep, but thoughts of Mr. Dawson kept disturbing me. Every time I closed my eyes, I pictured him with his bandaged arm and leg. The image made me flinch, and I found myself opening my eyes repeatedly, only to see my mother standing in front of me. Mama, I called out. Is this how you plan to handle your relationships and responsibilities, Lavanya? She asked abruptly. Her words confused me. Mama, what? Virat has been calling you since last night, and you didn't even bother to answer or call him back? He was so worried that he called me just now to ask if you're okay. She held up her phone, frustration clear on her face. Oh no. I was. The truth was, I had no excuse. I told him you were resting and had put your phone on silent. Call him back as soon as possible and at least feel a little guilty for what you're doing to him. She gave a firm instruction. Understood? I couldn't refuse. I nodded quickly, obeying her. Don't be unfair to people who love and care for you. Lavanya, they won't always keep doing that. Learn to appreciate what you have. With that, she left my room. I know she is right. Mama must have felt embarrassed when Virat sir called her asking about me. Why do I keep making the same mistakes? I hate myself for being so careless. Hello? I strained my ears, waiting for a response, but all I heard was a cold, from the other end. Why isn't he saying hello? Hello, Virat sir. Am I audible? I asked, unsure if he could hear me. Yeah, I'm listening, he finally replied, his tone firm and distant. Oh, he sounds angry. I'm sorry, sir. I couldn't take your call. There were people here and I was tired, so... Are you tired of me? He interrupted, his words catching me off guard. I froze. After a moment, he asked again, Are you? I didn't dare to answer. I had no idea how to answer. Tell me, Lavanya. If you are, just say it, because that's what it feels like every time I try to get closer to you. You should be excited to talk to your fiancé, but I don't sense that excitement in you. Something is always missing, and I don't know what it is or why. What's wrong? Where am I going wrong? Am I bothering you? Mr. Dawson, please don't say that. I am never bothered or tired of you. I was just... Virat. He cut me off sharply. Huh? I blinked in confusion. It's Virat. My name is Virat Oberoi, not Dawson. He repeated his name. And only then did I realize my mistake. I had called him by the wrong name. Oh God. My mouth fell open in guilt. I am so sorry, sir. I didn't mean to. I fumbled for words, struggling to explain myself, but all I managed to do was stammer helplessly. I get it, Lavanya. You were busy with the other important people in your life. But let me remind you, we are engaged now, and you are my fiancé. Thinking about and taking the name of another man doesn't exactly sound right. Then I heard the call disconnect. Sir, I wanted to slap myself. Why God, why? Why is it always me?
Author's POV. Will you, for God's sake, stay quiet for a minute? Lalit snapped, frustrated by his wife's constant interruptions. No, I won't. You two think life is so simple for a woman? Oh, let me tell you, it's not. From the outside, it may seem easy, but emotionally, we go through so many ups and downs. And in those moments, we need a partner who is truly compatible with us. Not someone who has a reputation for unethical business practices, who doesn't have a family, or who comes from a culture where divorce is common and normal. She took a sharp breath before continuing. I will never let my daughter choose a life where she will suffer later. She is young and has no real experience of life yet. But at least you should know better. I don't understand why you're misguiding her, why you're putting such thoughts in her head. Do you even realize what will happen if Arat and his family find out? Think twice, thrice, or maybe even 1,000 times before making such an irrational decision. She slammed her hand down on the dining table. She is your daughter, not a doll. With that, she huffed and stormed off into the kitchen. Lalit sighed, watching her go. Well, she is my doll. That's exactly why I'm thinking so much about her happiness, he whispered to himself. During dinner, Lalit spoke up. Sudha, sit here. He gestured to the chair beside him, tapping the seat. And listen to me carefully. As soon as she opened her mouth to interrupt, he raised a brow and widened his eyes. And patiently, without interrupting me. He paused to make sure she complied. She sat down but avoided his gaze, clearly irritated. I know you're against me trying to understand what's going on in our daughter's mind, but I don't think I'm doing anything wrong. We need to know if she's truly happy or not. Please let her live her life the way she wants. Isn't she already living it? She told us she wanted to marry Virat. Are we forcing her? This is a love marriage, not an arranged one, isn't it? Sudha reminded him, her irritation growing. I don't understand why we're discussing this over and over again. I know, it was her decision. But what if it's a one-sided love marriage? What if she isn't marrying the man she loves, but rather the man who loves her? Lalit argued, his voice calm but firm. And what's wrong with that? Sudha countered. She made the right choice. A woman's happiness lies in having a husband who loves, understands, and cares for her. Isn't that what everyone wants? Lalit shook his head. You know what, Sudha? You will never understand your daughter if you stay this stubborn about your beliefs. He took a deep breath before continuing, his tone turning colder. I don't need your help to solve my daughter's problems, but I am asking you, keep your outdated beliefs to yourself. Don't manipulate or influence her decision. Later that night, Lalit sat on his daughter's bed, watching her closely. You didn't come for dinner, Beta? He asked gently, gesturing at the plate he was holding. I've lost my appetite, I guess, she said softly. Look, Beta, skipping meals won't solve anything. Eat well and share your worries with someone you trust. The right person will give you honest advice. Lalit spoke gently. Lavanya took the plate from her father's hands and began eating. Good girl. By the way, are you going to the office tomorrow? He asked hesitantly. She simply nodded in response. Okay, eat well, and get a good night's sleep. He smiled, stroking her head. Daddy will always be here if you need him, okay? Good night, sweetheart. After finishing dinner, Lavanya took her plate to the kitchen and placed it in the dishwasher. As she walked back to her room, her feet instinctively led her towards the balcony. She wasn't sure why. Maybe she just wanted one last glance at his house. She didn't know that Jackie had already been discharged from the hospital, that he was home now. Lavanya stepped onto the balcony and gazed at his duplex in silence. Get well soon, Mr. Dawson. Your house is waiting for you. The next morning, Lavanya got ready for work. After having a light breakfast, she walked downstairs to get her bike, but then her eyes landed on a car she never expected to see. "Virat, sir?" She saw him leaning casually against his car. "What is he doing here?" "Good morning, my would-be wife," he greeted with a confident smile. Something about those words unsettled her, but she didn't react. Instead, she forced a weak smile and asked, "Sir, what am I doing here after our argument last night?" He finished for her. Why does he seem so happy all of a sudden? Lavanya wondered. No, I mean, she shook her head, flustered. Well, couples argue, fight, and have conflicts, but that doesn't mean they stop loving each other. He shrugged. And as of yesterday, we're officially engaged. He held up his right hand, flashing the diamond ring on his finger. Lavanya swallowed hard at the undeniable proof of their relationship. "Small arguments don't change our relationship, right?" He smiled, waiting for her to confirm. She wiped the sweat from her upper lip with the back of her hand, avoiding his gaze, and nodded hesitantly. "Then let's go. Your fiancé has come to drive you to work." He gestured dramatically toward his car. Lavanya hesitated for a moment, glanced at Virat, then silently opened the door and took the passenger seat. The entire ride Virat kept talking, but Lavanya only responded with brief yes, no, or replies. When they arrived, he went to park the car while she headed upstairs to her cabin. Yet something felt missing. Her eyes kept drifting to the mirrored wall, the one where he used to stand, watching her from his office. She sighed. Suddenly, she heard noise outside her cabin. Curious, she stepped out to see what was happening. The entire office was in a state of chaos. Employees were rushing around, busy with something she had no clue about. She wanted to ask someone, but they all seemed so preoccupied that she didn't dare interrupt. Confused, she headed toward Balram's office, but he wasn't there either. As she turned back, she spotted him walking out of CEO's office. "Sir?" she called out quickly. Balram stopped in his tracks and turned to face her. She stepped closer, hesitating before asking, "Sir, how is—" "He's fine, Bahina," Balram reassured her with a small, comforting smile. Lavanya blinked rapidly, trying to hide the tears welling in her eyes. Then, remembering the chaos in the office, she asked, "Why is everyone so busy?" Balram started to reply but suddenly stopped. Confused, Lavanya followed his gaze. She turned around and froze. Jackie Dawson stood behind her, his expression unreadable, cold. Her mouth fell open. "Mr. Dawson! Isn't he supposed to be in the hospital?" Her eyes swept over him from head to toe. Though his arm and forehead were bandaged, he stood tall, strong, just as he always had. Seeing him like that sent a wave of relief through her, making her feel alive again. A small, involuntary smile formed on her lips. Mr. D. Dawson?" She couldn't hold back her emotions anymore. A single tear slipped down her cheek, tracing a slow path toward her jaw. She was actually happy, really happy to see him. "Yes, the Jackie Dawson. Alive? Surprised much?" he asked sarcastically. She just stood there staring at him, still caught in disbelief. Meanwhile, the employees were fully immersed in preparing the surprise for their boss. They worked together, determined to make it perfect. Neither Lavanya, Balram, nor Jackie had any idea what was happening. But Ruhi did. As the assistant manager of the advertising department, she had found out about the surprise, and more importantly, the reason behind it. The moment she understood what was going on, panic shot through her. She had to tell Lavanya. It will be devastating if Lavanya heard it from someone else first. This news will shake her. It will hurt, but she needs to know. Ruhi rushed towards Lavanya's cabin, pushing the door open. "Lavie." But the room was empty. "Oh no!" Spinning around, she grabbed the nearest staff member. Hey, have you seen Lavanya?" "No, but all the employees and the boss have already gathered in the conference hall," he answered. Ruhi's eyes widened. "What? No. Without wasting another second, she ran towards the conference hall,